So, this is round 3 now of the Lethbridge Open. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded anything recently because I've been quite busy, but I continued to finish the series, and now we're round 3 into our tournament, and I was paired up against Jerry. And Jerry is a very uh, good player, very strong. He ended up with a very, very strong tournament at the end, but yeah, I didn't know him at the time, and he had relations to um, my chess friend who played an opening that I played against Jerry this tournament. And yeah, it turned out that Jerry really brought his A game and we went all at it. So I decided to surprise Jerry off the first move and I played b4. And b4 is the Polish. It is a very, very um, abrupt opening to get your opponent out of your comfort zone. But Jerry had played against my good friend Bill with this opening a couple times, and Bill played this opening quite a few times against Jerry. So Jerry was more than prepared against this opening. So he plays c6, bishop to b2, and then he plays d5. So he plays a Caro-Kann setup against my Polish. I play e3. He plays knight f6, and then I strike with c4. So I had prepared this opening for the first 15 moves at least, because I love this opening. There's something about the Polish that is so dynamic, and you actually don't get into losing positions unless you put yourself in a losing position. And it's a fight for the queen side of the center, and you try and control as much queen side as possible. The idea is to not let go of your queen side pawns unless the queens are off the board and there is material gain with the center pieces. But he plays bishop to g4, which is the best move. And then I play knight to f3. I actually didn't know what his ideas were, but he decided to, play solidly, play e6. I play a3 to make sure these are supported, and he plays his bishop out. I play pawn to d4, and now I have this mega center for white, even though the computer says it's dead even. I love this position. He castles, knight to d2, knight to d7, queen to c2. This is all of what I prepared. He plays bishop back. I play bishop to d3. We trade the bishops. And then I play my first inaccurate move of e4. I wanted to strike in the center, but little did I know and realize that this was committing too much of my center pawns. I have 4 pawns in the center, and this was one of my stronger pawns, and I weakened it. He takes, I take, we exchange pieces. Didn't look too bad, but he is definitely winning. He plays bishop to f6. It's winning barely, but you know what I mean. I castle. He plays knight out. I play queen to c2 to defend this pawn because this pawn is weak, being attacked by the knight. And then he strikes with a5. And with 15, 16 moves of prep, I instantly get into a pickle. And I didn't know whether to push or to take or to really do anything in this position. And I spent quite a little bit of time figuring out what my next move would be. Would I push with this? Would I push with c5 maybe? I didn't really want to exchange the rooks too early because my bishop would get really inactive. I wanted to keep this rook here for reasons that I wasn't sure at the time. And I played the first mistake, and I played b5. I should have taken and just continued all the normal development, maybe playing bishop to c3 after attacking the rook. And he takes, I take, and the idea here was to control the file with the rook. But that didn't happen. He played this, and now it's kind of even again. But I bring my rook to center, he brings his rook. I play queen here, and then he goes pawn to b6. And this is where all the inaccuracies come in. It's still even, I think. The computer wants me to take his rook and gain center control, but I wanted him to take me first. That was the idea. Plays queen to d6. I finally take and bring my rook into the game, and now the rooks are off the board. And now it's even. And at this point, I was like, what should I do? I like this knight, but then again, I wanted to maybe reroute it and take out this bishop. This bishop was a strong piece. And I was fine with being with a bishop to knight, and I was going to do that. But this is another losing mistake, and I should have played a more safer queen to d5. But little did I remember that the queen side pawns in the Polish are very important. And Jerry plays the best move, queen to c4, attacking this and attacking this pawn. And I start to freak, and I realize, oh no, I am lost. I'm completely lost. There's no way of coming back from this. I had to make sure to play this move in order to guard this pawn. That was the only place I can go, and that spot is now no longer able because now he controls this very, very important file, and my pawns are weaker than his pawns. His pawns are connected, and I get in trouble. I play knight here, he plays bishop here, and then I decide to go for danger levels, and he takes my pawn for free. I bring my queen out of the way. I guess he rejected the trade because he thought that if I take and I take it back, well, it's a draw. And that's kind of what I wanted. That was the entire idea. That's why I played knight here to get some sort of danger levels. And it didn't work out because he ended up playing and taking that pawn and then going back. And I realized if he didn't cover this space, let's say he played, a lazy move like this, now I got queen c8, go here, and then I can take his pawn for free, and now I get my pawn back, and it's most likely even again. But he plays the best move, goes back, and I start to lose hope, but I'm not giving up. I bring the knight back so that I don't get kicked out. He plays queen to b8, now controlling this file. I play g3 to stop any sort of attack, but yeah, things are going to get complicated. I play queen to a4 so that he cannot push this pawn. If he goes here, then he has opportunities to push, and if he goes here, then I always have knight here in case he pushes. So yeah, I had some opportunities to do that. For example, let's say that he went here, and let's say I move my king up and he tried to play this, then I'd play knight here. That was the idea, because I'd be fine with takes and takes, and these double pawns would be terrible. So that was my plan. He plays king to f8. Once again, this move was to also get some checks in on his king and most likely take his pawn, but also preventing the pawn to be pushed. That's why he made that move. I play h4, kicking out his bishop. He moves back. And then I play queen to d1. And I thought, okay, I'm fine. He can't really do anything and push. But yeah, he's just going to bring his king up. I play a4 once again to stop this. That is the main key idea because he has 2 pawns to my 1. And yeah, I need to defend this before time runs out. I play queen to b3, give a check. Did not want to trade because if I trade, I'm going to be losing. And yeah, then this is just a free, pass pawn for black. And I wanted the queens on the board as much as possible. I play queen back. I bring the knight in. I give a check. I give another check. I bring the knight back. I bring the knight back again. Exchange the pieces. I have a bishop for a knight, but he's going to get this pawn. And it's soon over. I play that move. I exchange the pieces. He still has his pass pawn. I bring my king out of the danger, but it's over. I play a really passive bishop move where he can just attack it, and the pieces start falling. And we get into an endgame where he promotes. He's up a knight, but I wasn't going to give up. I had chances of drawing. There were times where people could draw in this position. We had 4 pawns. He had 4 pawns. If I exchanged all the pawns, it'd be king and knight for a king, which is a draw. But Jerry, you know how he is. He executed this perfectly. Won with nice opposition tactics. I tried holding on, but after a gruesome 80+ moves, nothing could be done. And in this position, I resign after move 85. Yeah, this was tough. This was really tough. And yeah, it was a very good game. I was completely exhausted. I felt so hopeless after this game. It was just the little minor mistakes of overplaying a pawn structure and then also not holding on to the pawn structure in times where it was even. Many times I had one strike, and then the second strike he caught me, and on move 25 he was completely winning and taking the advantage. If we look at the game review accuracy, Stockfish said I played at 87 or 80.7% accuracy, and my opponent played at 86.1. So we had a lot of inaccuracies during the game because the position was quite difficult. My brain was starting to become a little bit overwhelmed. This was my 3rd game of the day, so I was up and down all over the place. I didn't know what to think, and I was completely exhausted. I had half an hour after my last game, and it was quite hectic. But yeah, the first day of the tournament was fun, but I learned a lot. And yeah, so I am now, after 3 rounds, I am 1 for 3. So yeah, this is good learning experience, but I have a lot to learn and a lot to understand, especially with the Polish Opening. I've been doing a lot of work and study into it, as it complicates things and makes things really fun for both, not just black, but for also white. And so, yeah, that is the analysis for game number 3. Thank you for watching.